since the start of that breakfast program in 2011. As the largest food manufacturer in the country, Tiger Brands partners with a number of food banks to collect food from retailers that is nearing its sell-by date. The food, which is still edible and meets all food safety standards, is redistributed to those who need it most while curbing possible food waste. We also help to repurpose food supply at the level of agricultural processing as well as retail. Tiger Brands is championing the establishment of a secondary market for ugly produce, quote unquote, that has not been sold due to cosmetic defects. At the moment, this ugly produce is collected by our partner food banks and then processed into jams and sauces, redistributed then to those in need. Eat Well, Live Well itself aims to help all South Africans make informed and healthier food choices on any budget. The range of our Eat Well, Live Well approved products help to take the guesswork out of healthy eating. When you see the Eat Well, Live Well stamp of approval on selected Tiger Brands products, you can easily make better food choices for you and your family. The stamp of approval will tell you at a glance whether the product is high in a nutrient you should try to increase in your diet, such as fiber and vitamins, or if it is low in a nutrient you should try to decrease in your diet, such as salt. Every Eat Well, Live Well endorsed product provides you with the Be Nutrient-Wise Guideline Daily Amount or GDA table on the packaging. This will tell you exactly how much high-risk nutrients it contains. Hence, these Be Nutrient-Wise guidelines can help consumers make more informed nutrition decisions. The Eat Well, Live Well website, as Sarvesh mentioned, is filled with quick, convenient, and healthy recipes with a South African flair that the whole family will love. It has lots of informative resources to help you lead a healthier, fuller life while keeping your health in check with informative articles and helpful tools. And the State of Nutrition South Africa report, which is on the website also now, aims to drive more nutrition conversations, whether it's on social media or around your dinner table. This easy-to-use nutrition report has lots of interventions to help you and your family change the habits that are hard to break. We encourage you to download and share that report with anyone who you think might benefit from it. Teachers at your children's school, with your patients if you are in the healthcare and wellness sector, as well as with friends and family who are striving to live healthier lives. Use it as an interactive resource to teach your children about the importance of healthy eating and cooking homemade meals. Try some of the yummy healthy snack options and easy to make meals with your children, and get active together as a family as you work your way through some of the suggestions of fun activities for children of all ages to get active and out and about. At Tiger Brands, we want to make an impact. All of these initiatives are part of our Tiger Brands nutrition strategy. In the last 18 months, in the face of growing food insecurity, malnutrition, and ongoing obesity issues, Tiger Brands has launched a health and nutrition strategy for our operations across the continent. It intends to guide the business in its delivery of its company purpose to nourish and nurture more lives every day, and to ensure that we have a positive impact on our people, consumers, and business while being a good corporate citizen. As part of this strategy, we'll be launching new and improved nutritious products and affordable nutritious food products to help bring our health and nutrition proposition to life. Today, our Eat Well, Live Well endorsed products represent almost half of Tiger Brands' product portfolio. We are continually looking to increase this percentage through our innovation and renovation strategies. We've also committed to take a leadership position on modern food labeling practices in South Africa that clearly indicate portion control and consumer relevant nutrition and health claims. In this way, Tiger Brands is transitioning from providing awareness to creating solutions that are linked to our health and wellness portfolio. What has become clear is that despite the devastating impacts of the pandemic on how we live, we work, we play, and we eat, it has given many of us the time and motivation to strive for more balanced lifestyles that prioritize our health and well-being. And I hope that it has made us realize that it is all right if we don't always get it right every single time. The most important consideration is that we are willing to give it a try. Habits are hard to break. I hope that the pandemic is teaching us how to be easier on ourselves and more supportive of each other in the face of all of these multiple challenges, and that we remember that to live well is to eat well. Thank you.
Much for shining a spotlight in the efforts that you are leading within the Tiger Brands framework. So we really appreciate it and look to see a lot more of it coming through, as I know we surely have planned. So again, thank you very much. Before we go into the findings of the report, I suppose many of you on the call that are hardcore academics, as we know, we constructed the guest list, and you'd be very interested in understanding how the report was compiled, as well as how it builds on the last year's methodology and findings. So I can tell you that we conducted independent research with the help of Insight Survey, which is a South African B2B market and industry research company. The research methodology included conducting online surveys amongst 401 South African consumers who are nationally representative, which is very important to us in terms of gender, race, and geography. Now, these consumers were within the LSM range, for many of you who would appreciate that, of 4 to 10 and over the age of 18 years. But importantly, for the nuance that we are aiming and have brought through in this year's report, 75% of respondents are parents or guardians of a child or children between the ages of 3 and 17 years. And that's very important as we take you through some of these summary findings that you'll see just now. Now, the first phase of the research delved into better understanding the attitudes, awareness, and behavior of South African consumers with regards to dietary intake, nutrition, and eating behaviors. It assessed eating patterns and food choices and how these were guided by food nutrition labels, nutrition knowledge gaps, and food security, among numerous other factors. Now, the research also benchmarked consumers' understanding of how nutrition, exercise, and lifestyle choices impact long-term wellness, as well as insights into the eating behaviors of children. Now, then there was a phase 2 to really build on that, which involved interviewing 50 practicing and registered dietitians and nutritionists over the phone as well. And this helped us to gain insights into their professional perceptions of the average South African consumer's dietary intake, nutrition and eating behaviors, so as to make informed recommendations about how to improve nutrition of all South Africans. Now, while we say that this is about their professional perceptions, you must obviously understand, and many of you are those exactly the professionals that we might have spoken to, or your colleagues, you'll recognize that your professional perception is actually largely informed by the engagements that you have with the public that you serve. So it is indeed a very informed perception that we took forward. Now, changes that may have occurred across various variables during the second year of the global pandemic were also reported on, alongside year-on-year changes between data collected in August 2020 and May 2021. So as we prepare to present the findings of the second State of Nutrition in South Africa 2021 report, I would like to introduce you to two of my colleagues, Arthur and Tracy, who will be able to give a little bit more detail on this. Let me introduce them before we bring them up on stage. So Arthur Ramaroka is Tiger Brands' company nutritionist, and Arthur is passionate about translating the science of nutrition into simple, practical lifestyle messages that inspire people to lead healthier lives. And as a corporate nutritionist in South Africa, his work highlights the important role that nutritionists play in influencing the present and the future of food and sustainable diets. Now, he believes that the key to successful, healthy, and sustainable eating is to adopt small yet impactful changes to our diet lifestyles. And Arthur is one of those that is very popular on social media. And I think if you had to get a glimpse into the lifestyle that he leads and the messages that he puts out, even in his personal capacity, you would know, as I said, that this particular topic is very important to many of us in a personal capacity, not just in what we do on at a work level. And then next we have Tracy Rolls, who's the marketing strategy manager at Tiger Brands and a custodian of Eat Well, Live Well. Now, she's committed to making it easier for people to make healthy eating choices on any budget. She has an innate passion for health and nutrition, and as a parent to two young boys, she's very familiar with the challenges facing parents to get their kids to eat a healthy and balanced diet. Now, this led her to champion a very strong focus on children and their overall health and wellness in this year's report. And her passion really has shone through, and I'm sure that you'll feel it in the way that she conveys the message in the upcoming section. So I will now introduce you and hand you over to Arthur and Tracy, who will give us a very quick overview of the State of Nutrition in South Africa report for 2021. Guys, welcome to the stage, and looking forward to what you have to share with us.
Thank you, Sabe. Good morning to everyone. I think it's important, and I think we're looking forward to sharing the insights and the findings of the report with you today. Now, our research shows that since the start of the pandemic and relative to August 2020, when we did the first study, there has been certain improvements in terms of consumer nutrition, health behavior, and key health metrics among the average South African when we compared this in May 2021 during the survey of the second State of Nutrition report in South Africa. Yet, there are still many aspects of our health we should focus on. We found that South Africans rated taste, cost, and promotion respectively as the important factors when eating food. And further to that, 30% of South Africans strongly agree that cost drives the purchase of food, despite the health benefits which may be contained in different food items they purchase. And that tells us a nuanced story around the attitude that South Africans have with food, because we can see that nutrition is often sacrificed in the moment, despite people knowing better. And last year's report really suggested that the average South African is just not overweight, but obese. And in a developing country such as South Africa, we know that our consumption of food is often shaped by various socioeconomic determinants, where people live, their income status, and also their accessibility to food. And also the nutrition professionals we surveyed believe that South Africa's overweight or obese prevalence is due to a proliferation of cheap and convenient fast foods, while healthy foods are largely unaffordable. We also found that more and more people are turning to plant-based diets or decreasing their meat intake in an effort to lead healthier lives or limit the effects of climate change and really make the money to go further as well. And in fact, 70% of South Africans claim to make food choices based on sustainability concerns, and also with an additional 14% taking animal cruelty into consideration when they make their food choices. And on the upside, almost 32% of the respondents that we surveyed try to avoid sugar. And this is something that we'll discuss more in detail a little later. But also on the other hand, at least 57.5% of South Africans add more salt to their food and drinks, and this is more than the World Health recommendation of 5 grams or teaspoon a day, with close to 18.5% adding more than the double salt recommendation during their food preparation. I will now hand over to Tracy, who will talk us through the remainder of the report findings.
Hi, Tracy. I'm so sorry to interrupt. You are on mute. If you can please just unmute.
The theme of the pandemic. You are on mute. Sorry about that. I thought I had unmuted. Thank you, Arthur, for doing the introduction to the report. Now, the findings of last year's State of Nutrition in South Africa report prompted us to realize that if South African adults were so unhealthy, how does this then impact the health of our children, who are the future of our country? Now, when it comes to the eating habits and behaviors of our youth, 38% of South African parents believe that their children do not understand the difference between healthy and unhealthy food. If we are to become a healthier nation, this needs to be addressed urgently. And education certainly plays a key role in this. In fact, the findings show that those parents with a postgraduate qualification were found to make healthier nutrition choices and lead more balanced lifestyles that included sufficient exercise. However, the findings also showed that childless, adults without children, and upper middle income, so your LSM 7 to 8 adults, exercise less than their counterparts. So to my fellow parents out there, one more reason to love our kids even more. They are at least keeping us fitter than the rest. But sadly, as many as 66% of South Africans do not exercise enough. Now you may be asking yourself, well, what is enough? So consider this. The World Health Organization recommends a minimum of 150 minutes of rigorous exercise a week. You can break that up into at least 5 days of 30 minutes sessions to get your blood pumping. But in these days of work from home, are you really getting to your minimum? I mean, just finding the time to get that 150 minutes can be difficult. And compounded to this, our research showed that 26% of South Africans drink fewer than 3 glasses of water per day. This is by far less than the recommendation, which is 1 glass of water per 10 kilograms of weight. And now that summer is on its way, this of course needs to be readjusted as a hot and humid environment, exercise, or even pregnancy and illness will require you to actually drink more water. So if you have a desk-based job, make sure that you have your jug of water on your desk every day. Interestingly, the reports also found a positive correlation between those who drink water daily and those who live a healthier, more balanced lifestyle. So there you go. Positive lifestyle behaviors often coexist, which shows us that the key to change is to make one small decision to be healthier that is easy to follow through, and often the rest will follow. Over to you, Sarvesh.
Thank you very much, Tracy and Arthur. And I think the last point you made around water, I can personally attest to. I mean, we'll call it in the report, the ripple effect of water, but it's so true because as soon as you need to remind yourself that you need to be having that sip or glass of water, ultimately up to 1 glass per 10 kilograms of weight that you have over the course of a day, you instinctively have a top of mind awareness as to leading a more healthier lifestyle every day, every week, and hopefully for a lifetime. So I can definitely relate to that. I can't say that I'm the best at it, but I definitely do keep it top of mind. And when I do act on it. So thank you very much. I'd like to now introduce you to 2 other industry stakeholders with us today and who have also contributed to this year's report. They are Claire Julsing-Stradom and Maria van der Merwe. Now, they'll speak to us in a little while and they'll be brought on stage by Tracy when the time is right. But I just wanted to give you a sense of who each of these lovely ladies are and their roles within the space that we're looking to make an impact on. So Claire Julsing-Stradom, for those of you that don't know her yet, is a registered dietitian, and she's registered with the Health Professions Councils of South Africa and is a member and former president of the Association for Dietetics in South Africa. So she's the co-founder of Nutrition Solutions, and Claire has been in clinical practice for 17 years and has a special interest in polycystic ovarian syndrome, obesity, and chronic diseases of lifestyle. Now, she's developed and implemented interactive nutrition education initiatives for various schools, including the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy, as well as nutrition intervention programs for local and foreign multinationals. Quite an impressive CV there, Claire, and really looking forward to hear more about that later. And then the other person and key stakeholder that we have on board is Maria van der Merwe. Now, she is a registered dietitian and nutritionist in South Africa and is the current president of the Association for Dietetics in South Africa, namely ATSA. She's a public health and nutrition consultant with a special focus on the planning and implementation of nutrition strategies and interventions. Now, her special interest also lies in health policy and systems strengthening. She's a co-investigator in a 5-year multinational research project aimed at addressing exclusion from access to health systems through a participatory approach. Now, Maria provides technical inputs on food and nutrition to multiple organizations, and therefore in so doing, and as a consequence of everything else she's involved with, really hopes to make an impact across South Africa. So I believe we have the right people, and we have the ex and the current president of ATSA, and really feel that the contributions these individuals have made and will continue to make within the space of Eat Well, Live Well, but more broadly in their own spaces, will hopefully have the desired impact on our society at large. So the time's now come to look at some of the chapters in more detail, and for that I'm going to hand you back over to Tracy, who will take the conversation forward, including the extensive section that we've delivered this year with regards to children's health and wellness. Tracy?
Thank you, Salvesh. Let me ask you, do you struggle with being overweight? Well, you are not alone. According to last year's research results, the average South African struggles with being overweight, making us one of the most obese nations in the world. Now, we know that a number of socioeconomic factors dictate what we eat as a nation, such as food insecurity, accessibility and cost, a lack of nutrition education, as well as taste. This prompted us to expand our findings this year to include an extensive section on children and how we can nurture healthier eating behaviors and more balanced lifestyles for a healthier future for all South Africans. The Children's Institute at the University of Cape Town found that more than a quarter, 27% of South African children under the age of 5 are stunted because of malnutrition. On the other hand, we have 1 in 8, 13% of children who are overweight. To help nourish and nurture more lives every day, we need to teach our children from a young age, at home and at school, how to choose balanced and nutritious foods. Good nutrition is essential for children to reach their full physical, intellectual, emotional potential. By laying this crucial foundation, we are able to have a positive impact on socioeconomic development of the country in the future. We interviewed parents and guardians of children to gain better insights into the current nutrition landscape of our youth. 75% of our study respondents are parents or guardians of children between the ages of 3 and 17 years. Our aim was to outline children's understanding of health, nutrition and wellness, the differences between healthy and unhealthy foods, and the various factors that influence these views. Our findings show that 38% of South African parents believe their children do not have a good understanding of the difference between healthy and unhealthy food. These children